China is developing satellites that can be out of orbit with other satellites. This is the method used. China is developing a satellite that can go out of orbit and reorbit other satellites. For other countries, China's ability to develop satellites that can inspect, operate, or relocate other satellites is a concern. On January 22, 2022, China's Shijian-21 satellite, SJ-21, disappeared from its normal orbital position around noon, as observed by an optical telescope. The satellite SJ-21 was later observed to perform major operations to bring it closer to another satellite, the Hokuto Navigation System satellite. Satellite SJ-21 pulls a geostationary satellite out of its geostationary orbit and places it hundreds of miles away in an orbit called a drift supergravity orbit. These remote orbits are intended for satellites that are not in operation at the end of their useful life and are intended to reduce the risk of collisions with them. Anomalous manipulation observed by a telescope made by the commercial space company Exo-Analytic Solutions. At a webinar hosted by the Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS, this week, Brian Fluling of Exo-Analytic Solutions said the SJ-21 satellite appears to be acting as a towing object for space objects. The website Breaking Defense reported that the United States Space Command, USA, did not respond to comments on maneuvering. The Shijian-21 or SJ-21 satellite was launched on board the Long March 3B rocket in October 2021. This satellite is officially referred to as an Orbit Service, Assembly, Manufacture, or OSAM satellite. This large class of satellites was developed with the ability to interact closely with other satellites. China is developing a satellite that can take other satellites out of orbit, so you can take advantage of it. This system extends the life of existing satellites, assembles satellites in orbit, and performs other maintenance and repair work. According to China's state news agency, SJ-21 was developed to test and validate space debris mitigation technology. Recent maneuvers of the SJ-21 have raised questions and concerns about this type of satellite and its potential military use. Todd Harrison, director of the Cheese Aerospace project, told Breaking Defense that maneuvering the SJ-21 raises more questions than answers. This is not the first time the SJ-21 has created a headline with suspicious behavior. In November 2021, just 1 month after the launch, an unidentified flying object was witnessed in the orbit of the SJ-21. China is developing satellites that can pull other satellites out of orbit. This was a method used at the time, and the Space Force called unidentified objects use aperture-kick motors. However, it has also been reported that it could be an experimental payload designed to perform remote control and test the SJ-21's ability to operate other satellites. The fact that China has this capability in orbit underscores the concerns the Pentagon has recently expressed about China's rapidly developing space capabilities. In addition, U.S. Space Command Commander James Dickinson told Congress last year that other satellites could be tracked using Chinese satellites such as the SJ-21. In addition, at the beginning of 2013, there were reports of Chinese satellites using robotic arms to pick up other satellites. The robot arm mounted on the Tiangong module of the Tiangong space station in China demonstrated similar capabilities.